Ah, the song ran out while I was upstairs. Sorry, guys. Hi, friends. I'm Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I'm still a little sick, fair warning. So there's gonna be some sniffling and some snorting, but I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum. Whew. I just like ran down the stairs. Because I had a feeling I was cutting it close. Whew, that's an edit here on my YouTube channel called something. I'm looking it up right now. It is called Donkey the Donkey Donkey. It is called probably like session 4 at the stables. Where's it at? Yeah, $300 bucks plus session 4 plus stables. The song to it is really nice. You'll like it. I hit the wrong button. Here you go. Share. Copy. Alright, there it is in chat. For you. Check it out if you'd like. If not, in the chat, Bulldog FPV, Northern Tier, Christian, I'm not going to ruin your last name, Bob Bruce, Recyclops. Recyclops is a good, solid name. Justin Lands, Kinetic FPV, Ryan, Kevin Sumner is here. Ram Donko, Northern Tier again. Mantis Tobias. Mantis Toboggan. Damn, yo. Two of the best YouTube names I've seen in a long time. Mantis Toboggan is a joke from, is that from It's Always Sunny? Mantis Toboggan. Or is it 30 Rock? I think it's Always Sunny. I think that's one of Frank's many characters. Mantis Toboggan. Not to be outdone by Ongo Jablogian. If you don't watch It's Always Sunny, turn this bullshit off and start right now. It's on Hulu. It is the only reason that I have Hulu. I pay whatever it is, $8 a month for Hulu just to watch. I mean, there's all kinds of other good stuff on there, but realistically, yeah. I have a monthly Hulu subscription pretty much specifically for It's Always Sunny. Ongo Jablogian. What's better, chat? You're gonna type O for Ongo and M for Mantis Toboggan. What's the better Frank Reynolds character? Ongo Jablogian or Mantis Toboggan? Jesus. Mantis Toboggan MD. Yes! Yes! What a great screen name. Kinetic FPV, Dan Richmond, Tuner Taxi, Espander, Kevin Sumner again, Mick Muckus, Brandon Woodford, Brandon's Baked Beans, Mr. Huggy, C-Mac, Athix, Bulldog again, Chris Mel. We've got one M and one O. Oh boy! It's a Vic Vinegar is another good one, although that's Mac. And who's Hugh Honey? Hugh Honey is that Mac again? Hugh Honey. Which episode is that from? Hugh Honey. What a show. Hey, if you want to talk directly to me in chat, all you gotta do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange like this. You don't have to put an @ in front of it, but you can if that tickles your pickle. And hey, this is my full-time job. I am supported by you guys over on CiottiFPV.com. You can use the affiliate links, which are free money. If you're doing an order on the internet, someone that's creating content for you to watch for free has probably got an affiliate link for that website. Spend a couple of seconds to try to find somebody's affiliate link and help them continue to make content. There's the Patreon, which is only $3 a month on the lowest tier, which is 10 cents a day. If you're into FPV, I know you got 10 cents a day. It's not an expensive hobby, but it's also not a free or cheap hobby. And there's a lot of benefits to it. There's all kinds of stuff going on Patreon. The biggest thing is the community of patrons that I've got who hang out over in the Discord channel, here in the chat, and yeah, there's just all kinds of good stuff going on. If there's something on my face or head that's disgusting, I apologize. I woke up Tuesday morning just full tilt sick. And I've been struggling ever since, but about midway through the day today, I started to feel a little bit better. I was like, all right, we streaming. I missed you guys on Wednesday, but whoa, boy, I was ultra sick on Wednesday. There was not a chance in hell of me streaming. Kinetic FPV says, Ciotti, what's your intro music? It's a nice tune. Kinetic, if you're going to type Ciotti, type CiottiFPV, and then it'll light up in orange, and I'll be able to see it a little bit easier. Intro music is from a guy on Instagram whose name I forget, because it was like 2 years ago that I messaged him and said, yo, you've got a beat that I saw somewhere. How much for me I said I have a live stream. I want to use it on the intro of the live stream. How much do you want for that beat for me to be able to use it? And he was like, he basically said, like, I haven't made beats in years. Apparently it was an old post that I found on Instagram with it. He's like, I haven't made beats in forever. I'm going to shoot you an email with a bunch that you can just use. It's all you. I was like, oh, dude, that's super cool. Yeah, I forget his name, but he doesn't do it anymore, so it wouldn't do you any good for me to give you his name. If you're looking for like good copyright-free music, though, I have a monthly subscription to Epidemic Sound, and they're great. They have a huge library. It's only like $5 or $6 a month. It's really well worth it. Even if you just get it for a couple of months, you can download a whole ton of stuff and kind of load up, and away you go. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff going on over on CiottiFPV.com. This is what it looks like. It's just a little Linktree site, nothing fancy. I have no internet ability. If you go on Etsy, there's some cool stuff there. If you want to work directly with me one-on-one to benefit from like 6+ years of knowledge and just, you know, give yourself a 6-month or 1-year head start by just rapid firing questions at me. Or we can do, like, I have some like not scheduled, but some sort of thought out and planned out sessions that I do with you, build planning. If you've got a build that you're trying to improve or a fresh build that you're looking to do, we can go through every part of it, and I'll make sure that you don't buy an $80 ESC that catches on fire the first time you plug it in. We can talk tuning, like specifically tuning up your rigs, and during that process, I explain everything that I'm doing so that you can figure out how to do it and not have to hire me every time you need a rig tuned. I'll literally teach you how to tune. And flight instruction. Hey, I just saw an update on Facebook that said a huge new release of Velocidrone had arrived, and then I went and tried to, I went to the updates section and it didn't seem to be there. So I don't know if the post that I can't find the post now, of course, on Faceballs, but yeah, apparently there's a new Velocidrone update coming, and I'm actually going to download it and we'll do some Sim Sundays again. But has anybody heard of it? Did I just not read the post thoroughly enough? I think it said 1.5. I think it said Velocidrone 1.5 is coming. Maybe it's something you have to pay for. I didn't look at that. I just looked at the basic the basic bitch update page on Velocidrone. Over on Teespring, I got some really fun shirts and mugs and everything but hats. If you want to do a super chat, but you don't want the evil YouTube and Google overlords to take 30%, you can hit this button here, and then in the chat, just type CiottiFPV, check your PayPal, yo, or check your email, and I'll give you the shout out, the same shout out that I would have with a super chat. FPV Exchange is a great website, and then look at all these affiliate links. We Bleed FPV, Newbie Drone, FPV Cycle, Amazon, Get FPV, oh my god, Flywoo, Banggood, Camera Butter, and AliExpress. You guys have been absolutely killing it with the We Bleed FPV orders and remembering to hit my affiliate link. I really do appreciate that. If you have a hard time like remembering affiliate links, you can just take these and like copy the link address and switch up your bookmarks if you're 100 years old and still use bookmarks. Or what you can do, like up here in the search bar, not like what I do, right? If I want to go to Amazon, I just type AMA, and then but see, you'll notice this is actually my Amazon affiliate link. This is not just like Amazon.com. So what you can do, like if you type AMA and it suggests just regular old Amazon.com, off on the right here, you can click that little X, and that'll delete that suggested Amazon link, and then you can just click on my Amazon affiliate link a couple times, and then your browser will think that affiliate link is your most visited Amazon link, and when you type AMA, it'll suggest the affiliate link, and now you don't have to remember. I have a hard time, I'm allowed to use my own affiliate links, and I forget all the time. So I've actually had to do that, because otherwise I wouldn't use my own affiliate links, and that's just, like, come on. Come on now. That's just crazy. Oh, all I have to do is click this thing, and I can save 1 to 6% on my own order. I didn't do it. Like, what? How brain dead can one 41-year-old gangly man be? That's all. That's all I have to say. Does that mean the stream is over? In chat, the folks that have tagged me so far, Bob Bruce says, where's this huge hairy mailbag? I'll show you where my huge hairy mailbag is. We've got a Get FPV order. One of the stick end boxes came back. Looks like this is the M4. Looks like this is the M4 box of stick ends. So yeah, this is a benefit of joining Patreon. When you join my Patreon, you will get full access to my Discord channel. Part of that full access is you can go into a channel called Stick and Dick Ends. In that channel, it's going to explain how this works. Basically, I've got 2 of these boxes, an M4 box and an M3 box. The M3 box is currently out. It's checked out. They are boxes with all of the stick ends in either M3 or M4. So you got to check your radio to see if your radio uses M3 threads or M4 threads. But what you can then do is, like a library, check out a box of stick ends so that you can take them all out and put them on your radio and fly them to see if you actually like them. Because, and I know this is going to blow all of your tits off, but looking at a picture of a stick end doesn't do shit. Like, it does not tell you anything about the stick ends. It doesn't tell you if it's going to work with your fingers, with your brain, with your transmitter even. Some stick ends on some transmitters will literally hit, like the stick end will hit the plastic before the stick gets to the end of its travel. You don't want that. It's bad. Bad. No! Somebody's dog just went... So yeah, don't waste, and like for $30, the stick ends are absurdly expensive. Yeah, for $30, it's a fool's errand to just buy one set and then convince yourself that you like them because you spent $30 on them, and then you don't actually like them, and eventually you put your stock ones back on, you're like, oh, these are better. God damn it. And then you're a sucker, so you end up buying another set, and the same thing happens, and now you're $60 in the hole. But then eventually, one day, you realize, oh, I know what I can do. I can buy all of them and put them all in a box. And then a little while later, you'll realize, fuck! Some transmitters are M3, and others are M4. Now I have to buy all of them again. But then, luckily, you'll have a bunch of people that are willing to help out with the price. That's what happened. For me. That won't happen for you. Because you'll be able to check out one of these boxes and just get the ones that you need. You know what I mean? Isn't that cool? No? No. Fuck you two. If you don't like it, I don't know. Bob Bruce says, Owen, how's it going? Hope you're feeling better. And what's up, Gangles? Also, there's a Amazon Prime bag, and there's another little box with Newbie Drone on it. So yeah, we got all kinds of stuff to open. Gangly Gang stickers are available. $5 for one, $10 for two. Tell me what you want. I have holographic and I have matte. The holographic looks like this. You're gonna do PayPal for these, and make sure you put your address in there. There's a couple people that I owe a sticker package to. I've just been trying to rest to get better as quick as possible. I wanted to try to not miss 2 streams, and I somehow succeeded. So, yeah, the holographic one looks like this. And then the matte one is matte. What do you want? You know what matte looks like. He's tall, kind of gangly, big teeth. Yeah. The rest of the stickers that I have are over on Etsy. Buy yourself some stickers, yo. Stickers are good. Stickers make your life a little bit better every day. And, you know, that's invaluable. Oh, come on, really? This ripped off? You're gonna do me like that? Label? I was trying to peel this priority mail label off nicely, but it's falling to pieces. Just like me! Northern Tier says, not if you're... Oh, God. Glad to see you. Hope you feel better soon. Mantis Toboggan says, greetings, Mr. CiottiFPV and Gangly Gang. Tuner Taxi says, sup. Kevin Sumner says, I hope you're all hopped up on meds. I'm actually not. Yesterday and the day before I was. Although not that bad. I don't know. I just try to, like... My strategy... that's my natural response to, like, business jargony words. My strategy for when I'm sick is to hammer vitamin C as much as I can get. Orange juice, emergency packets, vitamin C cough drops, and I eat as much as I possibly can. I just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat under the guise of you know, my body is like kind of working hard to try to beat the sickness. Yeah. And I don't typically like take lots of drugs, because what I find is that when I take lots of drugs that make me feel better, I then don't rest. I start doing stuff because I can't help but do stuff. And I'm under I think, I could totally be wrong, but I think that by doing stuff, you use a bunch of that energy that your body would be using to fight off the sickness for doing stuff. And yeah, I would rather suffer and get better quickly than have it drag on for, you know, a week or a week and a half. You know, I'm lucky enough where, like, I can just not go to work, right? Like, I can just cancel a stream. Because, like, even if I'm all hopped up on meds, like, you guys are not gonna want to watch or listen to me for 2 hours. I feel like shit, guys. I'm so sick. You know? Even though that's sort of what I'm doing right now. But I don't think I'm doing it so badly right now that it's, like, unwatchable. So yeah, that's my approach to sickness. I don't know if it makes any sense. I'm just a gangly man floating through the universe here in Atlanta, Georgia. But that's my approach, and I'm sticking to it. Doesn't make any sense. Brandon Woodford says, good evening, gangly of ganglies. Athix says, hey. Kevin Summers says, yes, always sunny. All right, so we've got an O, we've got an M, we've got an I, and then we have an O. All right, so Ongo Jablogian wins by 1 whole vote. Brandon Woodford just made a Get FPV order with my affiliate link. Thank you, brother. Very cool of you. You know, I haven't checked my affiliate stuff on Get FPV in a minute. Really? You're not going to autofill the thing? What? What is happening? Let me see. You got to check it to see, like, what your balance is. Balance. $160. Very cool. Wonder when the last time I took anything out of it was. It's been a while. It's been at least 3 or 4 months since I've taken anything out of it. Oh, look at that. That's a new... Oh, there it is. So I pulled out of it on... I took money out of it on... Oh, wow. It's been a while. July 27th of last year. Well, that's really nice. They give you a little graph now. That's pretty cool. Thanks for remembering that, guys. It's very cool of you. Doesn't really give me much info, but gives me a little bit of info. Yeah, the affiliate links, like, they're not a big money maker for me like they are for a lot of the other full-time FPV folks, mainly because I don't do product reviews. Like the affiliate links work really well when you do a lot of product reviews, and and then you say during the review, you know, if you want to buy this thing, there's an affiliate link down in the description, and you get people all jazzed up on like a new product. You know, I that's just not my deal. That's not what I do, which is totally fine. So it's a little bit harder for me to like remind you guys to try to hit it when you're doing orders. But that's totally fine. It's, you know, if you guys remember to do it, that's amazing. If you forget to do it, you're just like me. So I can't really talk shit. Kevin Sumner says, for less than a cup of coffee cup of coffee each day, you can help feed a gangly child, man. Hell yeah. Gamma Gonad says, supposedly Nick Burns' house is a new track / world on Velocidrone. I saw a preview of it probably in the update. That's very cool. I saw that on I saw that on one of Infinity Loops' streams. He was flying around in Nick Burns' backyard, which is super cool. Man, that dude is 10 times the pilot that I am. Holy Christ. Watching him fly around Velocidrone, I was like, yo, that is ridiculous. That guy is like top 20 pilots, freestyle pilots in the world for sure, man. He is gnarly. CMYK says, yo! Michael D says, just received the M3 stick-in box today. Batteries are charging, so I can start testing them out. May I have one of the Brain 3D stickers? Of course. Yep, that's why I put them in there. Put a couple stickers in there with the other stickers. Ah, very cool. Yeah, you guys can take, other than the stick ends, you guys can take whatever you want out of that box, and you can add in whatever you want to the box. I mean, don't add in, like, a pile of horse manures. That's right, I said manures, just because it's funny. Shut up! Yeah. The way the stick ends box works is I put a bunch of pre-addressed labels in there. Like, I try to not just ship it out to one person. I try to wait for a couple of people that want it to pile up, and then I put a bunch of labels in there so that when you're done with the stick ends, you put the next, and I number the labels, so you put the next label on it, and then it goes to the next person, and the last label in there. Usually, sometimes I forget, but the last label in there has my address on it, so then it comes back to me. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little thing. I got most of the label off. Look at me go. What else is happening in chat here? Jason Black says, got a question about motor heat. I checked them with my upper lip and noticed that the back are warm and the front motors are cold. Any ideas on why? Jason, you can just check them with your fingertips. If you can, I'll show you on a Tiny Whoop, but Tiny Whoop motors don't seem to get hot. It's kind of weird. If you can take a motor and pinch it between your thumb and index finger, and like, if you can go like this, you're fine. If you go like this and like pull your hand off because it's boiling hot, that's too hot. But like, if you pinch your motors like this and you're like, ooh, that's kind of warm, it's fine. Motors get hot, and that's okay. They're allowed to get a little bit warm. The problem is when they're absolutely like nuclear hot and you can't even touch them with your fingers. So yeah, you can do that. Really good question, dude. So front motors are cool and the rear motors are warm. When the quad's flying through the air, take this one because you can actually tell. When it's flying through the air, you've got nice clean air here. So the front motors come through and they hit this wall of nice clean air. I mean, it's constantly hitting clean air. But yeah, they've got all this nice clean air that they can just suck in and spit out. Whoop! The rear motors, they're getting like bullshit air. They're getting whatever air doesn't get sucked up, like the air down the center that hits the canopy and gets all turbulent. And then they're also having to pull air in from up here. And the slower that you're going, the worse that is, right? The slower you're going, the less your pitch is, the more of the air available the front motors are going to suck in. So what happens is the rear motors always have to do more. Kevin Sumner says sloppy seconds air. That's exactly it. Yeah, the rear motors have to pull a column of air in that's all the way up here. Whereas the front motors, they can pull the air in that's coming, like, they're probably going to pull the column of air in that's about this tall. They're going to pull about this much air in and pull it down into the duct or just through the propeller if it's not ducted. The rear motors have to pull this and this air all the way here. So they've got to pull this air in that's much higher. So the rear motors just have to work harder. They just have to crank more to get more air in because the greedy-ass front motors take all the nice, easy-to-get air. That's a really good question. Some people will, and I don't agree with this, but some people will run their center of gravity farther forward in order to make the front motors do more work, which can kind of even that out. And I guess if you wanted to be completely insane about that, you could figure that out in Black Box. Black Box will show you exactly how much each motor is doing. So if you really wanted to build a rig, like I guess you might want to do that with like a long-range rig that you were optimizing, maybe. I don't know about that though. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted all four motors to pull exactly even, you could push your center of gravity farther forward, farther forward, farther forward, farther forward, because by doing so, the front motors are going to have to work a little bit harder because there's going to be more weight on the nose. So the front motors will have to work harder to keep that weight up. We see this on Cinewhoops. If you run a Cinewhoop with a smaller battery like I do, 4S 850s, you've got 130, 140 gram GoPro all the way up on the nose of that Cinewhoop. And then I can't move my center of gravity. I can't move the 4S 850s far enough back to balance out the center of gravity. So on my Cinewhoops, the front motors are actually hotter than the back because they got that extra weight on the nose. That's one of the nice things about when I run the heavier batteries, the 4S 1050s or the 4S 1300s, and I push them all the way back, it actually levels out the center of gravity on the Cinewhoop. So the front motors don't come in hotter than the rears. But, you know, that's going to change depending on how fast you fly. So if I go out and fly the Cinewhoop at like 30, 40 degrees nose down, like I'm cruising around at 20 or 30 miles an hour, the rear motors are going to start to get hotter than the fronts. Because I'm putting them into, because they're getting, hold on, let me think about that. No, I guess it would actually be better. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, don't tune your rigs that way. Get the center of gravity as level as possible, front to back, because when you jam on the throttle and then jump off the throttle, if the center of gravity is either too front or too rearward or too left or too right, that extra weight is going to make the rig do a little bit of a bobble. If you get the center of gravity perfectly level, when you stab and chop the throttle, you won't have any... I mean, the PID loop will take care of it, but the PID loop is going to have to use battery power to take care of that. So getting your center of gravity as level, front, back, left, and right as possible is a really good idea. So do that. Don't try to cheat the dragon and yeah, play that weird game unless you want to. Do whatever you want. Don't listen to me. Who am I? I'm a stranger on the internet with the sniffles. Ah, balls! I was about to get the rest of this label peeled off and I hit a piece of tape. Oh, there we go. Adam C says, hey, Ciotti, I need the Discord server link. It's on CiottiFPV.com, Adam. Or if you're a patron, there's actually instructions on how to do it on the, well, the instructions are on the Discord, so that doesn't do you much good. But when you join Patreon, they will send you a welcome email, an auto welcome email, and in that welcome email are instructions on how to get Patreon Discord connected up. And then once you're on Discord, there's instructions there as well in the welcome in the welcome thing. Message me if you can't figure it out. I'll explain it to you. But you should get an auto email. Yeah, this box has been to a whole bunch of people. I love that. There's just layers on layers on layers of tape on this. Jason Black says, thanks so much. You're certainly welcome. Rayoni says, your light looks awesome. What build do you recommend for indoor flying with DJI? Just want something to have fun with, nothing serious. You know, DJI is heavy enough that I don't really know of a great indoor setup, to be completely honest. There are some bind and flies, like I did, I tried to convince Joshua to not put a DJI Tiny Whoop on the Tiny Whoop page, but he was like, no, we have to have one. So I did put one on there. So Joshua Bardwell's website, FPV Know-It-All, I help him with the products that are selected on those pages. And the Tiny Whoop page, I did top to bottom. And there are some, and there is a DJI, I don't even remember what it was. I did that page so long ago that I literally don't remember what it is. Okay, this is getting outrageous. I'm gonna do this later. Yeah, so there is a bind and fly on there. The problem is that the air unit is kind of hard to mount, and the other issue is that it won't run on 1S. You have to give it at least 2S. So you've got a heavy air unit, and then you've got to run it on 2S. You're going to end up with a rig that's like over 100 grams, more than likely, and that's awful heavy for flying around inside. So yeah, I do not know. I wouldn't want to do it. I don't think I would want to do it on a 75 millimeter frame. Just because of the mounting problems, it's going to be really hard to mount the air unit. I actually have no idea how you would mount the air unit. So yeah, I would actually there really aren't many options. Joshua's site, by the way, is fpvknowitall.com. I just assume that everyone knows that, which is silly. I would maybe just go with this bind and fly, to be honest. Let's see what it is. iFlight, that's it. iFlight Alpha A85. Yeah, I mean, I hate to point you towards a bind and fly, but like I said, there aren't many frames that are gonna work. This might be one of the only... What's happening? Come on. Yeah, I just don't know of any other lighter weight frames that are gonna... Oh god, it's 4S? Good lord. Yeah, there aren't many options. I'm assuming that you don't have analog goggles. Analog is just absolutely king when it comes to flying inside. What do they have going on here? How do they have this thing built? So they've got a little... That looks like a 20 by 20 board. Are you guys... What are you doing, iFlight? No, I guess it's not a 20 by 20 board. It's not. No. It just looks smaller. It looks smaller because of this plug header. Yeah, like I said, I hate to point you towards a bind and fly, but I don't know how else you're going to mount. Usually the mounting setup on Tiny Whoops will not work with a big tall with a big tall air unit like this. Chat, do you guys have any suggestions? I kind of don't. And I think this is going to be a 2-inch... I think this is a 2-inch propeller rig. Yeah, it looks like it is. I gotta be honest, it might be worth it to snag a set of cheap analog goggles. Let's see what the cheapest analog goggles are on Facebook Marketplace at the moment. Come on. Marketplace and FPV goggles. 95 bucks. Don't buy those for 95 bucks. They're cheaper than that new, I think. What's nice is you buy a set of analog goggles used, and when you go to sell them, you'll get what you paid for them. The problem with these, the big problem, in my opinion, with flying a heavy rig inside is when you crash, you're gonna break your personal belongings. Like, for real. Like a 4S 2-inch rig. When you crash that, you're going to break your television, or you're going to knock a vase off and smash it, or you're going to smash into your bar cart and everything's going to explode. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just going to be a hot mess. So, it's tough. It's tough for me to make a suggestion outside of that iFlight thing. I would say maybe do that iFlight and then figure out how to get it onto 2S. Get motors that are like 11,000, 12,000 kV. And get it down onto a 2S battery. That way you can run like a 2S 300 mAh battery that'll be a lot lighter than a 4S battery. Jason Black says, no, we got that. Slow Entropy says, just wondering, my quad bobbles around a bit, but no bounce back on pitch or roll. Flies fine, it just sort of bobbles a bit in straight flight, 2.5-inch build. Slow Entropy, one of the things that can cause bobbling is I-term. So take your I-term slider and move it, like if your I-term slider is at 1.0, move it down to 0.5 and see if it gets better or worse, and then move it all the way up to 1.5. Yeah, it's supposed to get better when you move it down, but in my experience, it doesn't. Sometimes it gets better when you move it up. But I mean, whatever. You can adjust the sliders in the OSD at this point. So that's a quick flip-flop to see if it gets better on one side or the other. The other thing that can help out with bobbling is lowering your PWM frequency. If you're at 96K, definitely bring it down to 48. If you're at 48, bring it down to 24. Bringing your PWM frequency down provides more motor braking, and that can help with those bobbles. I gotta be honest, bobbles like that are tough to tune out, especially when you don't have bounce back. Because when you don't have bounce back, that sort of means that your P and D gains are enough. But to be honest, it could also be P and D gain related. You might need you might need more PID gains to kind of help out. The other thing you can do is increase PID sum. If your PID sum is not already maxed out, you can increase your PID sum, and that can help out. So there's a whole bunch of things for you to do. Don't do them all at once. Try the I gain first, and then try PID sum, and then try PWM. If it's a BL Heli 32 ESC, definitely update to the newest version of BL Heli 32 and put your PWM low on 24 and high on 48. That's where you want it. Gamma Gonad says, have you seen Dax's 03 Naked Mobeetle 75 build? It's pretty sweet. All the 3D prints on Thingiverse. He's a local flying buddy of mine. He had a build video and footage video on YouTube. No, I have not heard of that. Let me see if Google will find it. Nah, Google won't find it. What do I need to search on Google to find that? Did you say Thingiverse? Let's see if I can just search for Dax. What the hell? Oh, I just searched for Dax. That was stupid. Search for Dax Mobeetle. Nah, Thingiverse's search is worthless. Let's check Yegi. Dax Whoop. What if I search Dax Whoop? Yeah, I don't know. It's getting all kinds of stuff. Rayoni says, I guess I need an HD0 goggle then. Thanks, man, you rock. HD0 goggles are awful expensive. They're really impressive, but they're awful. It's awful expensive just to fly inside. But HD0 is looking more and more impressive for racing. I have to assume that eventually they'll come out with a realistic VTX for lighter freestyle rigs, and then it'll be maybe an interesting option for freestyle. Yeah, I mean, Joshua's video with the 90 frame per second thing was pretty wild. I'm searching YouTube for Dax Mobeetle. It's still not. Oh wait, is this it? Build walkthrough. I think this is it. Dax Neal. Videos. Oh, I have seen this. I think I saw this on Instagram. That is a cool build. Let me try to find a. Well, here, just look at it. Yeah, I have seen this. This is super interesting. I recognize it from the 3D prints. That's where I've seen it. So yeah, there you go. There's a build. Let me drop this link into. Oh my God, he's got the O3 air unit on it. That's pretty cool. That's very cool, actually. There you go. There's a link. That's pretty slick. Naked DJI O3 air unit. My God, people are making them naked already. That's wild. Very cool. Very, very cool, actually. Gabagodad says, Dax won't copyright strike you. I'm pretty sure it's 2S and like 44 grams dry. Jesus, that's really light. That's really, really light. Cortez says, what's up? Michael D says, have you thought of making an 85mm tiny lifter? I've been thinking of building an HD0 mini Cinewoop / tiny lifter. I've been meaning to do an 85mm motor-to-motor build for about 2 years. I actually have two of them. They've just been sitting here. Yeah. So I bought this like 2 Christmases ago on like super special. And I have not even plugged a battery into it. Doesn't have a receiver hooked up. So I just need to put Crossfire on it. And then I bought an extra frame, and Beta FPV actually sent me one of their F4 AIOs around the time that they were all blowing up, and I was like, I can't do it. And then I've got a set of these beautiful AMAX Performante 1303 7500 kV motors set aside. I have a feeling that 7500 kV is not enough for 2S. I want this to be on 2S. But these motors are just so pretty that I want to give them a try. I'm hoping that these motors on the GemFan 5-blade 2-inch props will work. But yeah, I know that this ES VTX is terrible, and I don't know where to put the VTX, and I also don't have, this is a set. If when I do this, this is going to be a naked GoPro carrier. I don't have a naked GoPro. I have a Hero 6 that I want to do the naked thing to, but yeah, that's like a whole thing. Also, Brain 3D made me this very cool Insta360 Go and FPV camera holder that should work on this guy. So yeah, it's terrible that I haven't done one of these yet, but I was all hot to trot on the tiny lifters, and to be honest, the tiny lifters fly so good, and they use the regular Tiny Whoop batteries. With this guy, it's going to be XT30, and I have some 2S, small 2S batteries. But yeah, I don't know. This is just something that keeps getting pushed back more and more and more and more and more. And I tend to kind of forget about it. These are all builds here. Like these are all builds that just keep getting ignored and pushed back. Yeah, I don't know. I need to do more building, but I hate to build, and so I don't. But I do need to get caught up on some builds. We did some builds last year, though. I got the ones that I was most excited about done. Man, there's a bunch, though. I mean, there's a 5-inch race build ready to go. There's a Joshua Bardwell QAVS there. There's that's actually done. There's an AOS 3.5. There's a D-Quad Mini LRX. There's a Ripsqueak that I want to build with 2-inch arms and prop guards. And then there are my 3-inch freestyle frames up there. And then there's also like an El Cheapo race build somewhere over here that I think I'm going to do really quickly one of these days. And then it's going to be, I think, I've basically run out of stuff to give away in the 5-inch tier on the every other Monday giveaways. So I think I have one more week's worth, and then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine a month's worth of giveaways. So like on one stream, I'm going to say, hey, nobody wins tonight, but the winner has a 50-50 shot. So then I spin the wheel, and then that person has to wait, and then over the next 2 weeks, I do this little build, and then get it done, and then spin the wheel again on the next one, and those two people, they then get put on the wheel, and one of them wins an entire build. Could be cool. Where are we at here in chat? Slow Entropy says, thanks, man. I have to play around with a few flights, see how I go. Sounds good. Leonid says, hello. Danzilla the Terrible says, got an envelope of stickers in the mail today. We'll forward to others on Monday. Very cool, Danzilla. Thank you for doing that. Gamma Gonad says, DJI Mobeetle 7, I think, in reference to Dax's build. Ethan W says, if you're going to make an HD tiny lifter, what components would you use? I guess HD 0, because it's the lightest. The problem with HD 0 is you're not going to get great range. It depends on what it's lifting. If it's just picking up the Insta360 Go 2, I wouldn't really care as much about range. If it's going to be picking up a naked GoPro, at that point it can be a rig to do actual work. Like the Insta360 Go 2 is just for fun. So I would more than likely build it to pick up a naked GoPro, and then I'm gonna want to get range, so I would do it with a naked Vista, because that's what I have. If money were no object, I would do it with a DJI 03 setup, but you know, I mean, that's like $1,000 investment between the goggles and a couple of the air units and cameras and whatnot. So yeah, but with my current setup, I think that's what I would do. I have bad news, fellas. I have to take a dump. I'm gonna try to hold it off, but fair warning, I'm gonna have to take a little 5-minute break. Guess what time it is, though? Shout out to McConnell Studios. Hey, I stole that little thing from Mighty Car Mods. If you're at all into cars or just good YouTube channels, check out Mighty Car Mods. They're one of the best. McConnell Studios sent me a little care package. Thank you, brother. Some of it's going to end up in some giveaways, which is pretty awesome. So we've got a whole bunch of the Dow 3028 propellers. These are currently my favorite 3-inch freestyle propellers, so that's very cool. These will probably end up in some of the $10 a month giveaways, because I have a bunch of these. And look at this. I'm going to put this on right now. I figured I would give him the satisfaction. This is a little battery cover for the gimbal that he sent me. And I figured it would be fun to... You know how, like, when you lose something, and then, like, you throw the thing away because you're like, I'm never going to find it. I give up. Well, Matt thought that he lost this... so he sent me this gimbal that's been sitting on his shelf for a while, and he thought that he lost this little battery cover for it, and yeah, so I figured I would give him the satisfaction of seeing the battery cover end up where it belongs. It's the least I can do, right? Super, super, super cool for him to send this to me. There we go. Okay. And this is a Crane 3 for anybody that's interested. Hold on, please. Oh boy. There we go. All right, here it is. This probably goes this way. No, that way. Is this the right one? There it is! Look at that! There it is, and it's got a little lock on it. Yeah, whoop. Hold on. Unlock. Push down. Lock. There it is. Thank you, brother. Look at that! It's now where it belongs. The world, all is right with the world. All right. Moving on. We've got something really cool in here. This is a Naminmo, right? That's how it's pronounced? Naminmo. Yeah, this is a Naminmo ELRS module. Matt wanted to send this to me because of the Newbie Drone Acro B BLV4 Express LRS 2.5 version 2.5 debacle. And he was like, yo, I'm not using this, and you can put 3.0 on this, and then you'll have a module with 2.5 and another module with 3.0. Very, very cool of him. So yeah, this is going to get ELRS 3.0 on it, and it's got purple in it, and there's nothing cooler than that. That's the correct color, you know? Thank you, dude. You know what's really funny is I bought one of these little purple Naminmo antennas when I was using the Beta FPV on the black radio, because the black radio has purple on it, and I'm a nerd. And look at this, a whole bunch of Toka 1505s, a motor that I'm not using anymore, so I have a feeling that these will end up in giveaways, but these are awesome little motors. I might stick with these motors, though, because these 1505s perform really well on 3.5-inch propellers. I just, I'm not sure about 3.5. 3.5 doesn't fly right in sub 250 form, but rigs that, like, the sub 250 thing doesn't really matter as much here in the US as it does elsewhere, and the 3.5-inch props on a build that weighs like 320, 330 grams all up flies really, really good. So I'm gonna hang on to these for a little while. But yeah, there's a chance you guys will see these in a giveaway at some point. These are really good motors. It's really sad that these got discontinued. So I'm really tempted to hoard them, but I sometimes I hoard too much stuff. But yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you so much, McConnell Studios. If you guys don't know, Matt is a huge supporter. Check him out on Instagram. He makes some of the coolest shit ever. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to go over there and look. It's this cool like metal sculpture stuff. I lied. Ha! Kevin Sumner says, is your HD0 range assessment based on the old SharkBite VRX? Newer module and goggles have upgraded RF components. Some reviews say range penetration is more like analog now. I have not. I'm basing the HD0 range assessment on what everybody else is saying on the internet. I've only ever flown HD0 inside the house on the little 1S module. But I'm also basing it on the fact that everybody says it's very similar or maybe a little bit better than analog. And so right now, the only VTX options for HD0 are either 1 watt, which is massive and like 20 plus grams, which is just ridiculous and unrealistic, or 200 milliwatts. And unfortunately, 200 milliwatts is just not enough for freestyle. Like 200 milliwatts is like, oh, I can fly this in my front yard, but I gotta be careful when I go on the other side of that one tree. And that's just not enough. Like they need to make a 500 or 600 or 800 milliwatt VTX that's not 20 grams. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm basing that off of. I don't know. HD0 is super interesting, but hanging the module off of the front of the Fat Sharks is horrendously uncomfortable. And spending $500 on a set of HD0 goggles is kind of insane, or 400 or whatever the hell they are. For me to like invest in HD0, they're going to have to work a lot harder. There's going to have to be a lot bigger selection of VTXs and components and stuff like that. So yeah, it's which is annoying and it's a shame because it's a great system, but it's a system that really has a home in racing, and I have no interest in racing. So yeah, I am going to be putting the HD0 Mobula 6 back together in a 75 millimeter frame to do some I want it to be my little like drift car chasing rig, and in one of these boxes are the motors for that rig potentially. Yeah, I got those Flywoo Robo 1002s, but that's gonna be the last box that we opened. Let's continue with the mailbag. Michael D says time to great. Kevin Sumner says, I have a bunch of bells for the Toka 15.5s I never use. Want them? Yes, for sure. Because at the very least, I'll put them in with those. Thank you, dude. Very cool. Take your time then. No rush on that. Look at this. Jesse from Tiny Whoop sent me a little present because he ordered a whole bunch of these. Shh, don't tell anybody. Look at that, yo! Brand new, clear Mobula 6 ELR, well, I mean, just Mobula 6 canopies. I'm actually really excited about these because, like, the regular Mobula 6 canopies, they're great on a black frame, but on a clear frame, it kind of looks stupid. And, you know, come on now. Kevin Sumner says those clear canopies are on tinywhoop.com right the F now. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Fair warning, Jesse is going to be dyeing these. So maybe just buy one for right now for your clear frame to Tiny Whoop. But yeah, he got 50 of them from AliExpress. And yeah, he plans on dyeing a whole bunch of them. So maybe hold off unless you want them in clear. This is very cool. He just sent these to me. I'd mentioned to him like, yo, did you see because one of you guys actually mentioned it in a stream that you saw these on AliExpress. And then I was talking to Jesse like the very next day. I was like, yo, the biggest news of the week, Mobula 6 clear frames. And he's like, yeah, I got 50 on order already. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then, yeah, as soon as they came in, he sent me 2 of them just for funsies. Such a cool guy. So yeah, we're going to have an all clear Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop soon. It's going to be this one with the 603s on it. No, 702s. Oh, this is the newbie drone one. What's the clear frame? Don't I have a clear frame? Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've been building them in black frames to match the canopy. And now this is so that was in a separate box, but I put it into the same box from Newbie Drone. This is a replacement BLV4 frame AIO with a bunch of gummy candies, which is cool. Azalea will be happy about this. Look, a whole bunch of them in all different flavors. I've only ever seen these gummy candies in the lychee flavor. I didn't realize they had them in all different flavors. So yeah, we will swap this in to this rig, actually, that I was just holding. We'll swap this guy in, and then Kelvin asked me to send him back this AIO that the OSD is going bananas on, so that he can test it. So yeah, we'll try out this new AIO, and on this new AIO, I'm going to change as little as possible this time. I'm not going to put my fancy OSD elements in here. I'm just going to leave this alone and just get it bound up, hopefully. And we'll see how the OSD is, and then I'll dump all my OSD stuff on it, and we'll start making some changes to see if we can get the OSD to go mad, to help them figure out what the hell's going on with it. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Stay tuned for that. I don't know if we'll do that Sunday or maybe Monday or maybe Wednesday. But yeah, that's coming. You know, that right there is a perfect example of why Newbie Drone is awesome. They just sent me a $100 AIO to help them test it with a prepaid label to send the other one back. Like that's just, Newbie Drone's a great company. You can argue that they make some decisions with their stuff that us hardcore folks don't really agree with, but they're not making stuff for us hardcore folks. They're making stuff for newer pilots. And there's a method to their madness. And just because you don't agree with why they're doing something, that doesn't mean that it's a bad choice or a bad idea. You know what I mean? They've been around for a lot longer than all of us. You know, they're a company that's been around since the very beginning. So we have to kind of respect that. Well, we don't have to, but we should. We should respect that. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. I love that. I can't wait to see if that makes a difference. That would be pretty awesome. This is the stuff that I got from Newbie Drone last week. So I snagged another black Meteor 65 frame just because I'm kind of running out. This is for me. And this is just basically an extra. When I see that the Meteor 65 frames are in stock, I snag them. Oh, that purple grip, yo! Grip light, I should say. Yeah, so Tommy is now making a purple grip light, and happy days are here at last. This is very cool. I love this. I love that it's purple. Good looking out, Tommy. I snagged a couple of these little, I use these little XT30 to XT60s on my charger setup. This doesn't really affect you guys in any way, but yeah, this is just a little quality of life thing from me. You can buy like a pack of 4 of these off of Amazon, but it's like $12 for 4 of them. On GetFPV, they're $2 each. So I feel like a dick that I previously bought them from Amazon. But these are the kind of thing where I was like, oh, I'm going to have to buy these on Amazon. I use these on my Bardwell parallel board. and I just plug these guys into the XT60s, and then I've got XT30s that are on the little extensions. The extensions are really nice because then the batteries aren't like fucking sitting up all over the place. These are way more handy than I thought they would be. So yeah, a couple of those. Oh yeah, I got another. I have an extra. This is stupid. I shouldn't have bought this, but it's just an extra black Mobula 6 canopy. I realized the glide builds came to a screeching halt when I realized that I didn't have any extra XT60s, and you can buy XT60s that are pre-soldered to either 16 or 12 gauge wires for the same price that you can just buy the actual XT60s. So yeah, save yourself a bunch of time and just buy them pre-done. And yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3 of these. If we have time, I'm gonna shorten these and solder them up to the three Acon ESCs that are gonna be in those for sale glide builds tonight. Oh, I gotta launch Logitech G Hub to make that camera look a little bit better. And these two are for me. I don't think I've ever bought XT60s, but a lot of times when you buy an ESC, it'll come with an XT60. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever had to buy them, which is kind of funny. We've got... What? What? There's a Velox 45 amp ESC in here, and I have no idea why. I hope I didn't pay for that. Hold on. Well, it's on there. Oh, right. Well, that's a giveaway item for the 5-inch tier. Whoops. Spoiled the surprise. You'll forget by the time I give that away. Oh god, I bought 2 of these extra canopies. That was short-sighted. I did this order like a day before I saw those clear canopies. We've got a soft-mounted shirt from Say Andrea. These are super discounted. This is only $5. I've wanted one of these t-shirts for a hot minute, but they were always $20, and I was like, I got too many t-shirts as it is. But yeah, at $5, I couldn't say no. Pretty decent t-shirt. It's kind of like a stretchy material. It's an interesting material. Cool. Yeah. Say Andrea hasn't really done anything with FPV in a while, but for a couple of years there, she was making all kinds of really cool FPV apparel and like patterns and all kinds of really neat stuff. It didn't really catch on. She was making stuff that was kind of like, that was bordering on like high fashion in a way, and we're a bunch of basic bitch dudes in the hobby, so it kind of doesn't, it didn't really fit with the audience, I don't think. But that particular shirt I really dig. That's just a cool, soft mounted, nobody will understand but us. Look what I got. 3 Happy Model AIOs. 2 of the ELRS F4s that I love so much. And 1 X12, actually. I got another X12 that I'm going to put in the Mobula 7. I'm going to basically just rebuild my Mobula 7 ELRS. Because I'm an idiot. But I mean, the other X12 AIO exploded. So, yeah, hopefully this one lasts a little bit longer than the other one. All I've heard is good things about the X12 AIOs, so I think we should be good. These 2 F4 standard Mobula 6 ELRS AIOs one of these is an extra because I've got the one rig that like overheats and gets short runtime, so I know that that AIO is going to die soon. I think I want to run. I think I want to just keep pounding on it. I think that's this rig. Yeah, I believe I just want to keep pounding on this AIO until it completely fails. So yeah, one of these is basically like to keep in stock, but the other one is for a build, a tiny whoop build that I'm going to do and then sell. I've got a lot of extra tiny whoop motors and canopies and cameras. So yeah, I'm going to build an ultimate freestyle tiny whoop to sell. And I don't know. I think I'm going to do an auction for it and like see if... I don't want to just like build it and be like, here, $250. Like, I would rather do something fun. Hopefully it doesn't sell for less than what it cost. Here's the problem with doing this. I've bought the motors. I've now bought the flight controller. I've bought the frames. I've bought individually all of the things. When you do that, it costs way more than just buying a bind and fly Mobula 6 ELRS. So like doing this is kind of stupid in one way, and it's why I haven't done it yet. But it'll have my tune on it, and I'll have built it on the stream, and you know, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of cool. A bunch of people have asked me to do this, and I've had to say to them like, hey, I'm not doing that because you would pay a lot of extra money for it when you can just buy the bind and fly and just swap the motors with a screwdriver. But I don't know. Enough people asked me, and I was like, well, if you guys really want it, here it is. But I don't want to just like, I know for a fact that if I just say like, all right, I got done with this build, it's $200, who wants it? That people will, you know, somebody will, what are you, an asshole? You're not Steel. You can't sell your rigs for like when Steel built a bunch of 5-inch rigs and sold them for $1,000 each, everybody lost their minds and like, oh, what a fucking asshole. And I don't want that to be me. So I think I want to do, and plus that's like not fun, you know, like, so I want to do something fun, and I think a little auction could be kind of cool. So yeah, there's going to be a tiny whoop for sale one of these days. I got to figure out what motors to put on it. It's going to be on a clear. I have a couple of clear Mobula 6 frames. The clear ones are going to be the strongest ones. I want to build it to get this shit beat out of it. So I'm going to put it into the clear frames, into a clear frame. Yeah, I just got to figure out what motors to put on it, and it'll get bi-blades, of course, and that's pretty much a tiny whoop. That's a tiny lift. Tiny lifter. That's a tiny ultimate freestyle tiny whoop. Look what I got. Look what I got. This is what I'm most excited about. I can't hold all of them. There's 5 of them. I can't hold them all up at once. These are the Flywoo 1002 23,500 kV motors. The Mobula 7 ELRS is, on one hand, what I want to do with it is a jungle gym basher. On the other hand, what I want to do is get the HD0 stuff back up in the air. If I do the jungle gym basher first, if I do the jungle gym basher first, I'll potentially bang up and damage these motors. And then the whole point of the HD0 setup is that it's like a cinematic kind of little RC drift car chasing rig. So that doesn't make much sense. But I think that once I put these together, I think that's what I'm going to do, because I think that these motors are going to be too heavy. And so when I build this with the 1002s and the X12, I think that I'm not going to like the way that it flies. In which case, like, I put a couple batteries into it at the jungle gym and don't get, like, completely insane with it and bang the motors up too bad. Not to mention that I can just buy more of these motors. If I bang these motors up, I can just replace. It'll probably be the front two motors that get the hell beaten out of them, and I can just replace them. So yeah. But what I think these motors are going to become is cinematic HD0 75 millimeter. Initially, I'm going to build it in. Initially, I'm going to build it with the regular canopy up on top, and depending on if I've got ducts in view, if I have ducts in view, I might switch it over to a fractal 75 frame that I bought. But I want to build it with the canopy on top first because I kind of prefer that build. I don't. There's some things I don't like about the fractal builds. I gotta be honest. Like there's some things that I do like about them, but like the thing that I don't like the most is the battery mounting. Having to mount the batteries into the TPU is kind of super annoying. And yeah, it's so I would rather have it. I love the form factor of a regular old Tiny Whoop where you can just slide the batteries into the tray. It's simple, it's quick, it's no bullshit. And I think that the HD0 camera has less of a field of view, because on the when I got it in the 65 frame, I was able to push the camera angle really low and not get any ducts in view. So I have a feeling that I won't get ducts in view with it in this setup here. I also don't have any 75 millimeter ducts to bolt on, so I would have to like cut this frame up. And so it makes no sense to cut this frame up first. So first, I'm gonna build it in here with the extra canopy. If you guys remember, I broke within like 3 batteries the original canopy that came with the HD0 65, Mobula 65. My voice is starting to go. We might have to. Well, that's 8:25. We should be all right until 9. Hold on. Yeah, that's the deal. So I'm going to build it first in the other setup. You know, it's going to be annoying. So I'm going to build it with the X12. Where's the X12? Oh, man. So it says on the front here, ICM 4268 gyro. That sucks. I've heard about this. I've heard a couple people on Facebook talking about they just bought a Happy Model so-and-so board, and it's coming with the ICM gyro, and it flies like absolute ass. That sucks that this has the ICM gyro. Although, one of the two perfect flying 65 millimeter Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoops here, I think it's this one, has the ICM gyro on it. So maybe we'll be fine. Maybe we'll be fine. But I would much rather have the BMI 270 gyro. So yeah, that's coming soon. That'll be a really fun little build. And it'll be nice to get the HD0 camera and VTX back into something. I feel bad that I have that. FPV Exchange sent that to me for motor testing, which we did, and upgrading. We did that one big long 3.5 hour live stream on it. But then I tore it apart because that Super Bee AIO blew up. I'm hoping that this X12 AIO survives. If this doesn't, if I lose another X12 AIO, then these can go to hell forever. And I will rebuild this again, but with the regular F4 AIO that's actually been reliable. But yeah, I want to give the X12 AIO one more try. Have any of you guys heard of the X12 AIOs blowing up? I have not. I've only heard good things about them. The Diamond AIOs, everybody is shitting on. They're very obviously garbage. The ELRS ones, at least. The Super B AIOs, everybody hates. They're obviously garbage. I haven't really heard anything about the X12. So my fingers are crossed. Because for this rig, that X12 AIO makes a lot of sense. We got the bigger motors. It's going to be hauling around a bigger battery. And it's going to be in the Modula 7 frame, so the extra size of the X12 AIO doesn't matter, right? So, yeah. Let me get caught up on chat. Michael D says, check out eDrone's HD0 video. Flew HD0 and bought... yeah, I watched that. Through analog through a parking lot. HD0 broke up the same as analog. It did in the same spots. Yeah, they performed pretty much identical. Personally, I thought analog performed a little bit better. But I think it was a 1.5 watt analog VTX versus a 1 watt HD0 VTX. So that would make sense that analog would perform a little bit better. Ramdako says, spotted those clear canopies at Tiny Whoop. It's a month until UK hobby shops have them back in stock. Gamma Gonad says, all you need is some cookies to go with the video feed of the newbie drone boards. Welcome to my life. This week. Bobby Bags says, I would buy 2 of your ultimate freestyle whoops. Yeah, but for how much, Bobby Bags? Like, I don't want to sell them for 2. I don't know. I'm gonna do the auctions with it, and if the auction gets up to like $250-300, I'll build another one for sure. I'll take that money and I'll put it into buying more of the AIOs, and I'll figure out what motors I want to start putting on them. Probably not the 32,000s because I haven't really tested those enough. I'll probably start, if that happens, I'll probably do the 702 30,000 Tiny Whoop motors, because I know that Jesse bought a bunch of those, and they're just amazing. Like, I think that the 32,000 kV motors they're great, don't get me wrong, but ooh boy, they're a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, it's hard to fly. And if it's hard for me to fly those motors, you guys are gonna get frustrated. So yeah, I think the 30,000s are the sweet spot. I actually think the 28,000 might even be the sweet spot, but 30,000, you can motor limit it down a little bit. So yeah, we'll see. Apache Smoke says, good morning. Bobby Bag says, you should do build to order these whoops and you would make great money for a little while if you want. I'm very skeptical that anybody is going to be willing to spend $200+ on them. And realistically, I think $200 is the absolute minimum that I would need to charge to cover like my time and all the parts that go into them. But I don't know. I haven't actually done the math yet. I will at some point here, but yeah, I'm just skeptical because it's just so easy to buy a Modula 6 ELRS and then just swap the motors over, right? And like, I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm ripping people off. Like if people just want to buy something that I have built and tuned, like that's super cool. But yeah, the whole shit with Steel selling those rigs for $1,000, like the reaction that him of all people got, you know, it's like you would think, like when I saw he was doing that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then to see so many people freaking out, it was like, how do you not understand? Like, you know, that is being built with the hand of God. Of course it's going to be expensive. And for people to like not understand that, I was like, oh shit, I'm never doing that. And just like slapping a price tag on it. Like the whole auction thing was my solution to that, of like, hey, you know, I put them up for $100. If that's what it was worth, that's what it would have sold for. I ain't ripping anybody off. If a bunch of people want to bounce back and forth, that's on them. That's got nothing to do with me. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Michael Lee says, awesome, you finally got some 1002 motors. Looking forward to that build. Me too. You know what's funny is that I got these 1002 motors, and now those 1.5 millimeter shaft 802s came out, and I'm like, oh damn. So there's actually a chance I'll end up with two 75 millimeter builds, because I really think that those 0802s would be the better Jungle Gym basher. So I might go from having no 75 millimeter rigs to having two. I gotta blow my nose. I can't wait any longer. I was trying to ignore it, but hang on, friends. The sickness is back. It's trying to get me. I won't let it. Don't you worry. I won't let it get me. I will prevail. Hold on. Coming back. Not looking good for doing any work on those glides. Go figure. If you came to see me do work on those glides, I apologize. I don't know. I always put too much in the stream description rather than too little. Kevin Sumner says, do you need the 3D print for putting HD0 cam on the front of the fractal frame? I can throw it. I can throw one in with the bells. HD0. No, when I did the HD0 build with it, the included camera mount actually worked totally fine. So I'm actually good. Is there a specific one for the HD0 cam? If so, that's pretty cool. Because during that stream, Eves actually came in and we were talking about that. So I guess maybe after that stream he created one, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the one that I have, he told me to just yank on it and stretch it, and it worked totally fine. And it gave me like just the right amount of up tilt, so it was like totally cool. But yeah. I love that he's making a specific one. That's very cool. Denzel the Terrible says, is that mouse head still peeking out? Speaking of mice, we had a mouse in the ceiling above our bedroom about a month ago. Well, no, around Christmas time, in the morning I would hear like, and I was like, oh man, I think that's a mouse. And like, I asked my dad, and he was like, yeah, it sounds like a mouse. And then we tried our best to kind of ignore it and just hope it would go away, but it didn't. And then so we called pest control, and they literally threw some poison up near where there'd be access to it. And then we start reading on the internet, and the internet's like, whatever you do, don't poison them, because they'll die in your walls and they'll decompose and your house will stink like dead rat. Mouse, 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 mouse. And guess what happened? And it appears to have died in the wall right next to Maggie's office. So her office has smelled like literal death for the last like 3 weeks. And I don't know. I'm like, I can't go in there, man. I'm like, it's getting better. But yeah, and now I feel terrible because there's a decaying mouse in the wall. But it is getting a lot better, so I don't know. But it's been weeks. It's been like 3 weeks, and the internet says that's like 3 weeks is about. It says like it depends on how hot it is where you are, and of course it's cold here. So, but yeah, gross. Denzel the Turbo says it's not a mouse. Have you seen the movie Parasite? I have not. I stay away from scary movies because I have nightmare issues. McMuckus says, PayPal for some more stickers. Thanks for the Singularity Antenna hack. What a difference. I blew up two 12 X12 AIOs in 1 month. God damn it. I would only use it if I was going to fly 2S. So that's the other reason that I got an X12, is that I didn't realize it at first, but apparently they will take 2S. And it makes me very curious about building a non-newbie drone tiny lifter with. So it would be... So the X12 will only work in the Mobula 7 V4 frame. So it would be that frame, X12. I think what I would have to do is cut the battery tray opened and put like a rubber band down there. And then what I would run for batteries would be these little fellas. I got these little... Where the hell's the 300? And I have a 300 flip. Here it is. So yeah, they make a couple of 2S 300 and 350 mAh cells. I would have to replace the PH 2.0 with XT30, but that's fine. And I have 3 of these guys, so I just got to figure out how to get them mounted to the Mobula 4, the Mobula 7 V4 frame. Yeah. And then what would be cool about that build is that I wouldn't be flying through milk. You know, the tiny lifter builds. One of the things, I think maybe the only thing that holds the tiny lifter builds back is how bad the video looks, because the newbie drone, as we've realized lately, the newbie drone AIOs. Yeah, you guys want to know a secret? Joshua. So I've been talking to Joshua about the Acroby BLV4 things from the start. He's got a review coming out of that rig, and it's not a good review. Because he's honest, and because there are some problems with that rig. So yeah, I feel bad, but he's being honest. And I've been honest, and I, you know. Kevin Sumner says JB's review came out this week. Did it really? I've been looking for it. I didn't see it. Was it scathing? Let me see. I saw he did the battery review. I didn't see that so he did the why is it hard to bind. Yeah, no, he's got like an actual review on the, not just the why is it so hard to bind. Yeah, he's unless maybe that's it. I watched a chunk of the why is it so hard to bind review, but it didn't seem to be scathing. And from what he told me, yeah. Because the video thing, like he was like when I told him about the video thing, and I'd sent him a couple of screenshots, but I think he might have been busy and he didn't really look at it. And then we were talking about something or other again, and I mentioned it again, and he was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And I sent him the pictures again, and I explained it again, and he was like upset. He was like, that's completely unacceptable. And I was kind of like, well, I mean, I guess, but I mean, it's the tech, you know, they chose to go away from that OSD chip and blah, 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 blah. But I think his standpoint is basically, and he's right, I think his standpoint is that like analog is bad already. And then to make it worse, it's like, ooh, but I don't think, I mean, like, what's the solution? The solution is to go all the way back in time to the BLV2 or maybe the BLV1 and like not make the decision to go away from the standard OSD chip. And it's, I mean, there are other benefits to not, like, Newbie Drone chose to sacrifice the quality of the video for other features on the board. And like I get that, you know, like I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but if they hadn't done that, their board would just be like all the others, right? So like I guess I look at it from the perspective of like, it's interesting to have a different option. It's really interesting to have the BLV4 have the bigger MOSFETs on it, and the sacrifice is that the video is not as good. Like, so we can sacrifice our video quality for better MOSFETs. And I flew that Japanese maple tree with the tiny lifters. Like, it's not like you can't see anything. It's just a little bit worse. So I don't know. I hope he's not too hard on him in his review. But I wish it wasn't like that. But I just think it's the tech. I don't think there's any way around it. So I don't know, man. I feel bad. I feel bad. Apache Smoke Wounded Saber says I just got an X12 and for now it's working great. Mick Muckus, god damn it, you blew up 2 of the X12s. God damn it. Danzilla Turbo says, will those auctions be signed the number? They certainly can be. Whatever you guys want. Whoever wins it, I'll do whatever you want to it. I'll sign it, I'll color it in with markers, whatever. Bobby Mac says, if HD0 would come out with a smaller VTX that does 500 800 CiottiFPV all over it, me too for freestyle. Yeah, I don't understand how they haven't yet. Gamma Gonad says, I'd pay $200 for a Super Whoop from the Gangly Gangsta, not a ripoff to me if it supports you, and I get a masterpiece. Sure, I could build it, but I appreciate that. That's cool of you to say. Denzel the Terrible says, it's not a mouse if you see. We got that. McConnell Studios is in the house. He says, just catching up. Glad you got the bag. Cheers. Thank you, brother. Thank you again. Kevin Sumner says, you sure you don't want the fractal TPU in purple? With a link. The TPU that I got was purple. If it wasn't purple and you were offering purple, I would absolutely take you up on it. But, yep, that's specific. Whoop, HD0 nano light camera strap. Okay, so yeah, I guess it is a little bit longer. Yeah, I mean, I stretched mine so hard during that stream that it works totally fine. If not, like and to be honest, I'm trying to not go that route. I'm trying to keep it in the Mobula 7 V4 frame, to be really honest. If I end up going to the fractal frame, I might bug you. But don't send it yet, Kevin. I appreciate it though, man. Okay, we're good. And so I gotta be honest. It's almost 9, and I really want to see what. I mean, we got to yank this apart anyway to swap the. What motors did I end up putting on this? 702 30,000s, yeah. This has to come apart anyway to swap the AIO, and I'm just dying to see what a Mobula 7 looks like with the clear canopy on it. So let's do it real quick. I should do it over here. Or do I fly? What do you guys want to see? Build or fly? Type it in the chat. Type either build or fly. I have 4 of the Tiny Whoop's 270 batteries charged. We can either swap this canopy over, or I can fly a couple of batteries to take us out to the end of the stream here. You guys get to pick. Build or fly? Type it in chat. You want to see me build? You want to see me fly? It's up to you guys. Sometimes I can be a little selfish and just like do the stuff that I want to do. But that's silly. This is we're a team here, right? We're a fucking team. Jason Black says take a shit. I don't even have to take a shit anymore. Alright, I'm going to give another couple seconds for dem responses to come rolling in. While I'm waiting, I'm already doing the build. This is the easiest little build ever. Oh, I guess I shouldn't put this. I got to switch BT 2.0 onto it. So this won't be the quickest build ever. Which is fine. As if that takes more than like 60 seconds to do. Especially because they they put their power leads on the outside of the boards. You don't even have to thread them through. All right. Build is going to be left hand, fly is right hand. Build, fly, build, take a shit. Wait. Build, fly, build, fly, build, fly, build. Then deliver to says build and fly. Build. We building. Let's see what a Mobula 6 looks like with a clear canopy. First in the whole world. This is an exclusive. It's an exclusive. It's the first ever in the whole of the world. Exclusive. It's exclusive. It's the first ever. World's first. The first time ever in the world. World's exclusive. First exclusive world. In the exclusive world. First world exclusivity. Exclusive. World's first. Exclusive. First ever. It's the first in the exclusive world. Now I think the algorithm will give me a hand job. That's how it works, right? All right. This antenna's coming off. And these antennas are just getting pulled out. And then this guy is just getting pulled out. Okay, cool. So let's pull this camera out of this. I didn't need to pull this. That was silly. I'm gonna need. So this is the camera that. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. So this is the newbie. So I took one of these Runcam Nanos, and I put this, and I hand soldered one of these newbie drone specific. Hey. I have not brought this up on the stream yet. You want to hear something weird? I don't think I've brought this up on the stream yet. Check this shit out. This is the weirdest thing ever. It's the weirdest thing ever. I took 2 newbie drone Beeeye cameras. And I took the newbie drone specific plug off of them. I desoldered it very carefully. And then I soldered on the more standard JST plug that plugs into the Mobula 6 ELRS boards. I did this twice. And I plugged the Beeeye cameras into the Mobula 6 ELRS AIO that I've run a whole bunch of different cameras on. And alternatively, on the newbie drone AIOs, I have run a bunch of different cameras on those as well by doing the opposite of this, by hand soldering, such as this, by hand soldering on the newbie drone specific plug and plugging it into the Acro B AIO, and everything has been fine. But with the Beeeye cameras, when I did this twice and plugged them into the Mobula 6 Happy Model F4 ELRS AIO, cameras don't work. And then when I thought that I broke both of those cameras, so I threw them in the garbage. But then when I got them out of the garbage and I soldered the newbie drone specific cable back up to them, they worked fine. What the fuck? And like, of course, I double and triple and quadruple checked everything. What the hell? Tell me that's not the weirdest shit you've ever heard in your whole life. I switched this originally, so I'm done talking about that. I have no idea why. So I switched this this right here, this Runcam Nano 3, I did not multimeter anything, but I just stared right at it, and I was like, the red's going to the red. Like, on the back of the Beeeye cameras, it has silkscreen ground voltage video. And I did it twice and double checked it, and I put the same, when I put the newbie drone plugs back on, I put the red in the same spot, the black in the same spot, and the yellow in the same spot. Like, I checked it, because I just couldn't believe it. So I checked everything 15 fucking times, and nope. Beeeye camera hooked up to, yeah, silk screens have been wrong before, but I put the newbie drone cable right back on to the, if the silk screening was wrong, then I put the newbie drone plug back onto the wrong silk screening, and it worked fine. Who has a Beeeye camera that wants to do that and see if I'm crazy? Ain't that some shit? Bobby Bag says maybe they need 5.5 volts to run. Maybe? I didn't think, I did it, and I just sat here like, okay. Like, I didn't even bother thinking it through, because I was like, I kind of don't care why, because there's nothing for me to do. Like, what the hell? So yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I mean, there's nothing I can do, right? Like, they're going to the... CV says I've had 2 X12s fail. God damn it. Oh, I was worried about this. I was worried that I just hadn't heard about a bunch of people with X12s that are failing. God damn it, Larry. VTX died mid-flight. New battery revealed as the AIO died. No telemetry. 400 milliwatts might be a problem. I never ran mine on 400 milliwatts. 661 says, I have one Beeeye camera I've never used because the plug is wrong. Maybe I'll try it out one day. Very cool, 661. 661 also says, how about where the wires go into the plug end? Are they in the same order? It doesn't matter because they're colored. Oh. What if... what if the plug that I was using had them in the wrong order? Did not think of that. I did not think of that. That could be why. That could be why. Where's the plug that I used? Where's the plug that I used? Oh, damn it. This happened like a week and a half ago. And I would have put that plug into this bag over here with all the other cameras in it. Ooh. So, that would be... I kept forgetting to mention it on stream so that we could collective that shit. Okay. So. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a goober canopy back onto the newbie drone rig. Because, I don't know. I think there's no point in having the Runcam Nano hooked up to it if it's going to be all milky. Okay, so that would be either this plug or this plug. So it's one of these two. Son of a bitch, that's what it is. These plugs are out of order. Well, no, this is a different plug. This is too big of a plug. So it's this plug and let me compare it to the pinch camera. Son of a bitch, the plugs are out of order. There it is. Yep. So I pulled this little plug out of my box of just like wiring harnesses that I grabbed from just like random stuff over the years. There it is. All right, cool. So we will get to see how a NBD Beeeye camera looks on a Mobula 7. I'm sorry, a Mobula 6 ELRS. Good shit, fellas. Where did it go? It's this one, right? And yeah, this one worked. Yep, there it is. The yellow is where the ground needed to be. Oh, there are all three of them are mixed up. All three of them. Awesome. You guys are the best. I'm going to leave this out because this is an extra Runcam Nano. And these are all worthless. I don't know why I keep putting these in here. What is this? Is this a Beeeye? This is a Beeeye. Hey! No, this is a OV231, which doesn't fit in any of the mounts. Okay. Well, we ate up all of our time talking through that. But, as always, you guys came through. Here's what the Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop is going to look like with a clear canopy on it. Oh, look, and it's the new style canopy with the extra mounting point in the front. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. It's going to look a little darker than that because there's going to be a camera in it, but oh, yeah, look at that. Yo, look at that. That looks cool. For this newbie drone build, though, I think I'm actually going to put it into a black canopy to match the black goober. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give some thought to that. Kevin Sumner says, "Lucky as if it's not dead." Yeah, that's true. Good on Newbie Drone for building the cameras with a an anti-explosion thing in it. You know what I mean? So to remind myself, oh god, I'm going to stab myself in the foot with this sharp pair of tweezers. To remind myself, I'm going to de-pin one of the plugs from this. All three of them are wrong. So I'm just going to de-pin one of these. And then, yeah, we'll be able to take a look at a Beeeye camera through an AIO that doesn't massacre the quality. I might as well do all three. Here's how I do these. Here's how you de-pin these things without losing your mind. Get a silicone mat or just anything that's like sticky. Put the see if I can juggle this. Let's see. Okay. Here's how you do it, friends. I've always wanted to show this to you guys, but I've never really been able to. You put your fine-tipped tweezers in here at an angle, sideways like that, to lift up on the little plastic latch, and you just ever so carefully weasel them in there until that plastic latch lifts up, and then you just pull the wire out. And you can kind of like two-finger the wire, like put your index finger here, and then just super gentle, super gentle. And then you just keep pulling, and you just get that wire right on out of there. Could you guys see that? I'll do one more. This silicone mat helps with this a ton, but any surface that's kind of sticky, because you kind of need like 3 hands to do this. So you just sneak this at an angle, right under there. All right. Sneak that at an angle. Very gently lift these little plastic boys up. Super gentle. If you do this, if you lift the plastic thing up too high, too hard, it will just like break, and it'll be bad. Because then the pins will want to come out. So you got to do this very gently. And then just Keep working the wire back. And once you get it to a certain point, it's past the little jib jab, and you can just pull the wire the rest of the way out. That's how you do it. All right, guys, go watch some bot grinder. I'm gonna let my voice rest. My throat is absolutely killing me. Gamma Gonad says that's probably why it's a proprietary plug, so people can't easily swap. That's interesting. I think it's a proprietary plug because it's much smaller. They've on the Acro Bee boards, they've done everything to save space, which is one of the things I really love about the Acro Bee boards. Is they've used the space much better than most of the other folks. Ramdonko with the correct solution. Are the wires different color line up on the JST? I think somebody else said that too, though. 661 says, work plugs in the flight control. I've made that mistake myself. Kevin Sumner, lucky he's not dead. Denny Flatland BMX says, greetings from Germany. And Danzilla Terrible says, ciao. Thanks for hanging, guys. Hopefully Sunday my voice will be back to full strength and I'll be a little bit more filled with energy. Thanks for hanging. CiottiFPV.com if you like these live streams and want to see them continue. Join the Patreon. That's going to help you out the most with like all kinds of benefits. There's a bunch of affiliate links though and other fun stuff. We'll play the rest of that edit from the beginning of the stream. Be good, people. Be kind to your neighbors. Do something nice for somebody, even if they don't deserve it. Although they deserve it. Everybody deserves kindness. You have no idea what anybody's going through. Always remember that. Be good. Here comes some flying. Some 5-inch flying at the stables. Hopeful and dreamy beats? Yeah, maybe it's good. See you Sunday, friends.
Set it up.